Hello, and welcome to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to be making ghee, and if you'd like to see how we do that, stay tuned. First, we start out with our room temperature ghee, and then we select the pot that we need. Today, we're going to be making a large quantity of ghee. This is the 1 gallon container that it sits in. So we're going to be making roughly 1 gallon of ghee today. My ghee video, I somehow deleted. And since my mom was going to be making ghee today, I thought I'd show you the process. And so we start with opening up the butter. You open up each stick of butter and place it in your pan. The size of your pan will determine the amount of ghee you'll be able to make. Now, as you see here, my mother is scraping off any excess butter that's left on the butter wrapping. You want to get all the butter that you can off of your wrapping. You don't want to throw any of it away. Shortly after putting your sticks in the pan, turn your eye to medium-low. As your sticks begin to melt, you can continue to add the remaining sticks in your pots. As you see my mother continuing to add the sticks in the pot, you'll see that the butter is beginning to melt. You'll notice around the edge of the sticks, the butter is a golden. It looks a little bit whitish. That is going to be the milk solids that you're going to allow to brown. You want that to turn a nice golden brown. As your butter begins to melt, you can see along the edge, if you can't quite see it at the base of the pan in the center, around the edge, you can see a little bit of white. That's what I mean white. That white needs to brown at the bottom of your pan. You want that golden brown. We started with a lot of butter. I think my mom had about 34, maybe 36 sticks. I'd have to go back and count. I don't remember exactly, but there were a lot of sticks of butter. So we're going to end up using 2 pans. Now, the pan that my mother is currently putting butter in is the size that she uses. The pan that I'm about ready to pull out is the size that I use because I don't make a lot of ghee. But you continue to add your sticks in your melted pan. You do not want this to be full. We're going to start another pan in just a second because you don't want this to boil over. And you see the butter is melting nicely. That's what you want. This pot is full, so we're going to let it begin to simmer down and we're going to start a new pan. This is the size pan that I use when I make ghee. I normally make about 8 sticks at a time. That makes roughly a quart of ghee. So we're going to do the same process, open up the sticks and place them in this pan. Don't forget, you have to turn your eye on and make sure it's on medium-low. Because this pan has less sticks of butter, it'll make ghee a lot faster. While you're making ghee, you cannot leave the kitchen. You have to keep an eye on this. You don't want it to boil over and you don't want it to burn. So as you see here, the butter is beginning to melt down and the little white floating on the top are the milk solids. That's what you want. As I mentioned, there were a lot of sticks of butter, so we're still adding butter to the pan. Your ghee is going to change in color. It's going to turn a nice golden brown as you see here. In this pan, you can see that the milk solids are beginning to separate. On the bottom, all that white liquid is going to turn a nice golden brown. You can see it better along the edge, but all of that is what you're going to want to turn golden brown. What most might consider a froth is going to form on the top of your ghee. This is normal. Your ghee is going to start bubbling like you see here. You want to make sure that your eye now is going to be on low. You do not want this to burn. You can now see a definite distinction in color along the bottom of your pan. Those milk solids will turn golden brown. This pan is really cooking now. You can see it looks like froth on the top. We want to make sure that this eye stays on low. We had to turn it down. In the smaller pan, you can see the milk solid is very distinct, and that's what's going to turn a golden brown. This ghee is boiling too fast. We're going to have to turn it down. Now that both eyes have been turned down, you can see the ghee is boiling nicely. In this pot, you can see a little bit of golden brown on the bottom. Can you see it? It's not a lot, it's a little bit, but it's beginning to happen. How about now? You see it's browning in the center? That is what you want on the bottom of your pan. Also, you'll begin to smell it, and it smells delicious. We think the scent smells nutty. As you can see, the browning becomes deeper and deeper. It's not burning, it's perfect. Now it's time to strain this off. Now be careful, this is really hot. The point of straining is to make sure you don't get that froth or any of the brown, crispy milk solids in your ghee. You can see all the brown, crispy milk solids right here really well. You don't want that in your ghee. If you do have a little bit in your ghee, you can strain it again. Look how beautiful and golden brown that ghee is. It smells yummy. We let this rest while we waited for the other pan. Due to the amount of butter in this pan, it has a ways to go, so we'll be here a while. You can see in this pan as I move the froth with the spoon. Be careful if you do this. Again, this is hot. The bottom is beginning to turn a nice golden brown. You can also see that on the edge of the pan. This is browning up nicely. We'll be straining this shortly. I won't be holding the strainer for this one because this is a really big pan and I do not want to be burned. So we place it in the sink so that we don't burn ourselves and we don't pour this all over the place. Now it's a little tricky, so you have to be careful, but you strain this just like you did the smaller pan. As we get closer to the bottom of this pan, you'll be able to also see it also has the milk solids. We want to make sure we do not get that in the ghee. Look at that beautiful golden brown ghee. Isn't it lovely? I hope you make some for yourself. Now it's time to place this in the container. It's been rinsed out and the first pan of ghee has been poured in. So now Mom is going to pour in the second pan of ghee. If you do try and make this, just remember that this liquid is indeed hot. You can hurt yourself, so you must be careful. We ended up with a little bit of milk solids in the ghee, so we're going to strain this out. I want to thank you for joining us in the kitchen today. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, share the video, like the video, leave me a comment. Let me know if you're going to make some ghee for you and your family. My family, as you can see, truly enjoys ghee. My husband puts ghee on everything. So until the next time, bye for now.